welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and I was just sitting in here earlier. I just told my boyfriend I want to go be amongst my things, and I regularly love just sitting in here, opening up drawers, reminiscing, looking at the makeup I have. I'll go through old magazines. I just kind of like love being in here amongst my plants, the cat's in here hanging out, and I was sitting in here and I thought I would go through my foundations because there are some in here that I want to let go of, some that are not the right shade for me, but for some reason I can't let go. And I just kind of want to clear it out a little bit because I know there are some in here that are really old as well, and I'm sure a couple of stinky ones that I want to let go of. So I have all of them just sitting in this little glass container. This used to be a jewelry box, but the lid broke off, so now it's just a container. There are probably about 20 or so foundations in here, so I'm going to go through each one, share what I like about it, what I don't, give you a little tiny review, and then tell you whether I'm going to keep it or declutter it. And I have my little declutter bag right here. I do have a few items in here already that I'm going to be decluttering, and I thought I'll just add them in here as well. So first one here, Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush Medium Coverage Foundation. I love the name. I love the name Complexion Crush. I just think it's such a good name. I have here the shade Fair Neutral. I have two of these actually. No, wait a minute. I could have sworn I had two of these, or did I declutter the other one? Maybe I let go of the other one already. Did I? I have here the shade Fair Neutral, and I do have a full review on this on my channel. I'll link it down below. I really, really like this. It's a really beautiful, just skin-like but medium coverage. It wears all day long. It's so pretty. I like this a lot. I did used to have two of them. I had to give a little sniff test. It's not even that old, so it's fine. I did used to have two of these because I would mix two to get the right shade, but the shade Fair Neutral for me is pretty good, and I can wear that one on its own and it looks just fine. I like that one a lot. Definitely going to keep it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do this. I'm so excited to clear this out because it's like full, and we're just gonna, I don't know, I'm just kind of excited. Oh, this little guy. This is the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. It is separated. I've had this for 3 years, maybe. I want to say at least 3 years. I have here the shade G11. I did used to have the concealer also in the shade G11, the stretch concealer. I did declutter that just because I've never found myself using it too much. I did like it, but I don't know, I'm just kind of over it, you know? You know what I mean? Oh, this is good. I don't wear this that often because it's super sheer. It is like a little tinted moisturizer. Like it's super moisturizing. I just don't wear stuff like this all that much anymore, but it doesn't mean that I never will get into it again. You know how we all go through our phases with makeup, like one day we're like all into full coverage, next day we're like just concealer only, next day full glam, next day lightweight watery foundations. So I'm gonna hang on to it because I do like it. It feels fine, smells fine. I'm gonna hang on to it. I think it's cool, and I just like the bottle. I don't know, I just like owning it. If it was bad, I'd probably keep it anyway. Anyway, moving on. Number 7, Hydra Luminous Aqua Release Skin Perfector. I don't remember what I think about this. I did a review on it back in February. It's another really lightweight kind of tinted moisturizer thing, but I remember this now. So it comes out looking like a regular foundation, but then it kind of like, it literally feels like water. It transforms into the thinnest thing ever. You know, this feels very similar to the Glossier skin tint, but with this one you can feel and see the actual water droplets. I kind of blended them away already on top of the foundation. It's so weird. It really feels like there's a ton of water in there. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to it and do like maybe like a last chance kind of thing because I haven't really used it a whole lot since I've done the review, but I feel like I liked it, but I honestly don't remember. I'm gonna hang on to it for now. Maybe at the end I'll do a second pass and change my mind. Oh, this is easy. I could easily pass this along. This is the Ulta Beauty Velvet Matte Full Coverage Foundation. So I have here the shade Fair to Light Cool, And I want to say this is the third one that I've had in a different shade. I just can't find a shade that works for me at all. It's a very, very full coverage foundation, so you need to get the right shade. And with this one, oh yeah, like it's thick. This is so thick. It's super heavy duty coverage. Is that the, no, that's way too light. I was like, maybe that'll work for me. It's way too light. You know, this feels very similar to the Makeup Forever Velvet Matte Foundation, that one. Very, very similar. I'm gonna pass this along though. It is not the right shade for me. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation and Skincare. You can see where it's at right here. It's kind of separated. Let's give it a little shake. I have here the shade Light Neutral 20.5. And I want to say this one was too light for me as well, because I remember always mixing this with another foundation that I have here. I always mix them together and then it would give me the correct shade. I like this a lot, but I've never really been able to use it on its own, so I don't really know how I feel about it on its own because it's not the right shade for me. Let me do a little test, because you know how your skin tone changes over time. You're spending more or less time in the sun, all kinds of factors play. I think that's too light. Yeah, I've always known it to be too light. I think, did I have this in a project pan or something? You know what? I'm just gonna pass it along. I'm gonna clean off this little nozzle thing and I'm just gonna pass this one along. It's not the correct shade for me. I would like to repurchase this in the correct shade because I kind of want to test out just the foundation on its own and not have to mix it. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it along. Okay, this next one I have had for a long time, but I cannot bring myself to get rid of it and I don't know why. It's not the right shade for me. It's the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin in the shade Y225. I don't know why I always thought it was the shade Y225, but it never worked for me. It was always so yellow. And I bought this in that shade and for some reason I never returned it. Oh yeah, this feels very, very similar to the Ulta Beauty one, the Velvet Matte. This is so similar. Oh, this smells terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to let this go. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I like that. Never the right shade. I was like attached to it for some reason, but moving on. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. So I have here the shade 1N. Let's give it a little dusting. I like this, but I don't use this nearly as often as I should. Maybe I'll pull it out for Shop My Stash in October. It's really, really thin as well, like super thin. Not as thin and like watery as the Glossier one. This one has a tiny, tiny bit of body to it, but it is still a really, really thin foundation. I don't even know if that's the right shade for me. Just like seeing if they're the right shade, you know. I'm gonna keep this. I think it's a tiny bit on the pink side, but I think this is one that I'm gonna keep and kind of rediscover and see how I feel about it. And this is the old formulation. I know they did just recently like redo this one. That's the old one. This is the Ulta Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. I'm a big fan of Ulta Beauty, as you can see. I always love to try all of their stuff. I have this in the shade, maybe they only have one shade. I don't know. Let's give it a little shake. I bought this just this year, if I'm not mistaken. It has SPF 24 in it. I feel like I used this a couple of times. This feels really similar to the number 7 one, like really watery thin. And I want to say I used this just like a couple of months ago. It's another one that's really, really sheer. It's a little bit of something, like if you just want to go run errands quickly, you want a little bit of a pick-me-up, but you don't want to put on a whole bunch of foundation and a whole look. Something like this is kind of nice. It's really lightweight. It's easy to blend in. This is one that I'm going to have to rediscover. It expires now in October. Maybe I'll pick this for October Shop My Stash and see how I feel about it. Because it is new. I just bought it this year, so I want to give it some love, you know? This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I have gone back and forth with this forever. I can never decide whether I love it or not, but right now I'm in a not phase with it. This is what I chose to shop my stash for September. I took this on vacation with me when I went to Arizona, and I loved it. This was so good. It looked so pretty every day. It was great. And then when I came home and I started using it, it looked ugly every single day. I hated my makeup. I don't know what's wrong with it. It works fine, but I just feel like it was really heavy or something. Like, I don't know what it was. I'm gonna let it go. I know, I am just gonna let it go. I love the way it smells. It has such a good like lemon scent. I'm gonna clean up all of this little nozzle and stuff here, but I'm gonna let this one go too. It's not expired. It says August of 2024. It's a pretty good shade match for me as well. I've always felt it was a little pink, but I think it's pretty good. I don't know what the shade is because it's rubbed off of the packaging, but I'm gonna let that one go. This is the Merit foundation stick in the shade Linen. Oh, I forgot to take this back to work. I like this. I did buy, Merit did send me a bunch of products, but I did buy this one with my own money. Oddly enough, I had placed an order on Merit's website, and literally the next week they reached out to me about sending me some stuff, so I was like, well, heck yeah. Anyway, this is a foundation stick. They call it the Quick Stick or something, Perfecting Complexion Stick. This is one of those foundations that you have to blend in with a brush. I don't know what it is about this formula. It's kind of thick. It does not work when you try to blend it with a sponge, but with a brush, it's really nice. I did find it to not really last all day long. It would kind of disappear and break up on my skin. But what I love using this for is I keep it in my locker at work in like my emergency little caboodle that I have, and this always comes in handy. I use this multiple times a week. I don't even know why did I bring it home for some reason. Anyway, I use this a lot of the time. Say I was like blowing my nose or had a runny nose or something, I get this and I dab it around the nose area. Ooh, I got it on my nose. And then I have a little brush in my bag and I just kind of brush it around. I'll use it after lunch because, you know, after you eat, for some reason your mouth is like all red as if you like made a mess on your face. I get it, dab it all over the chin. I keep touching my skin with it. Dab it on the skin, around the lips, and then like quickly dust it with my brush. And it's nice. It's a really nice little touch-up thing, and I love it for that. So I'm gonna put this back in my locker. I like that. This, I think, is the best foundation number 7 has ever done. It's the Restore and Renew Multi-Action Serum Foundation. I have this in the shade Warm Ivory. I actually used a lot of this. It's about right here. This is a really, really nice foundation. I have a whole video on this one as well. I used this just I want to say a couple of months ago, and I feel like the foundation oxidized a lot, which is weird because every other time I've used this, it has never done that. And I think I even mentioned in the video, like, it's never oxidized before. I feel like it's really windy outside or something because it's like making the air conditioner sound all loud and crazy. So sorry about that. I think this is another one. I'm going to keep it, but I think I'm going to try to rediscover it and see if it oxidizes on me. I got to test it out again because it never used to do that before. I don't know what's wrong with it. But yeah, I love this a lot. It's so beautiful. It's thin, but it has a ton of coverage. It moves with your skin, so it won't settle into any of your fine lines or anything like that, and it will wear all day. It's amazing, and I want to say even in the video, I called this like a wedding foundation. It's so, so, so good. I love that one. Another one from number 7, the City Light Tinted Moisturizer. I have this in the shade, well, I don't know, but oh, fair. I was like, I know I go for the lightest one. So this, again, a tinted moisturizer. I've been using this for a long time. I have really, really enjoyed this over the years. This is a new one. I think I just opened it this year. Again, really, really thin, watery kind of texture. I don't use this all that often anymore. It's kind of like the Glossier Skin Tint and the Ulta Beauty Moisturizer. They all kind of do the same thing. They're all super, super sheer. This one has SPF 15 in it. This one's like sheer to sheer light coverage. Like, you're not going to even get light coverage with this. It's sheer. But it's a little something. Like, it's enough to feel like, ooh, my skin looks a little different, looks juicy, healthy, and glowy, but you don't look like you have makeup on. I really like it. I'm gonna keep it. I've used it for a long time. I don't talk about it all that often on my channel, but I love this a lot. That's definitely not the first bottle I've ever bought. This is the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Look how much of this I have used. So this, hold on, hold the phone. I have to mix this with something. And is this the one? Oh, I knew I had another one of the Complexion Crush foundations. This is the shade Light Neutral. Where's the other one? I knew I had two of these, but I was like, maybe I decluttered one and I kept this one because it was the right shade. I had both of these because I have to mix the shades together to get the right shade. Light Neutral and Fair Neutral, gotta mix them, gonna keep both of them. I was like, I knew it. I knew I had both of those. Okay, moving on. L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I have used quite a bit of this. This is in my project pan for this year. My goal was to use it all the way up. I'm making good progress on it, but this is a foundation that I do have to mix with something else in order to make my correct shade because this one is a little too dark. This is the shade 2-3 Light, and I probably should have gone like the shade up, but when I bought this, they didn't have all the shades out yet, and I just really wanted it, so I bought whatever I thought would be the closest. I have to mix this with something, and now I'm like, now it's escaping me on what I have been mixing it with. What was it? I have no idea. I'm gonna hang on to it because it's in my project pan. I want to try to use it up by the end of the year. I don't think I'm gonna do it because I still have a lot left and I haven't reached for it in a little while, but I'm gonna hang on to it. It's a really nice foundation. It's super pretty on the skin. The packaging is absolute garbage because this dropper doesn't work and it gathers all over the lid because you go to put it back and it scrapes down the side of the dropper. It's awful, and for like $20, L'Oreal has the money to make nice packaging and this is not it, but it's a nice foundation. This is one I forgot I bought. This is the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint, and I used a bunch of it. Like, I liked this a lot. I thought it was super nice, but for some reason I put it away, and I don't know why that is. I do that sometimes with my Shop My Stash that I've been doing every month. I like to use the products that I pick out, and sometimes other things just fall to the wayside, even if they're brand new. Ooh, a lot of alcohol in this one. I have used this quite a bit when it first came out. It's still a brand new product, but I haven't used it lately. I do want to rediscover this one as well, so gonna keep it. This is the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. I have this in the shade 201. I really like this a lot. Again, I have a full review on this. I think the sweet spot with this for me is 2 pumps. 2 pumps right off the bat, all over the face. So freaking pretty. If I do 1 pump, it acts more of like a tinted moisturizer. Still really pretty, but it builds really nicely. I don't feel like this gets the love it deserves. It is so nice, so lovely. Definitely going to keep it. This is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, the Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. This is amazing. This is so good. It sounds like it's going to be a tinted moisturizer, which it kind of is, but it is a lot of coverage. It is not just a tinted moisturizer. It is a super thin, lightweight. I want to say you could get full coverage out of this, but most likely medium unless you build it up. It's so pretty on the skin. It's so nice to use. It's thin, it's blendable. You could put it on with your fingers and it's gonna blend just fine because it goes on like a moisturizer and not like a foundation. It's so pretty. Every single time I've used that, I love it. I think it's great. Definitely one of Wet n Wild's, no, this is their best foundation. I hope they keep it around forever. It's great. Oh boy, my baby. The Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Stick. This is my current obsession. I absolutely love this. I can't get enough. I can't stop using it. I used it most of July. I used it all of August. I've used it a lot of days in September. I have a full review on this as well. This is all I have left. I have used the heck out of this thing. So this is a stick foundation, but it's not your average stick foundation. It is smooth. It is blendable. It is juicy. It is so beautiful on the skin. It is super ultra mega creamy. It's very moisturizing too. So if you have probably really oily skin, maybe you might not like it, but I think give it a shot anyway. It's amazing. Looks great on the skin, wears all day, blends like a dream. This is the best foundation stick I've ever tried, and it's definitely my favorite foundation from Ulta Beauty. It is just perfect. There's literally nothing wrong with it. And I have here the shade light to medium neutral. I'll link below any videos where I applied this, and I will link my review of that as well. It's amazing. This is another Ulta Beauty foundation. Telling you, I really love the brand. This is the Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. I have this in the shade light to medium neutral. This is, I'm sure you can hear it, very, very, very watery foundation. It has a little dropper style applicator, and it's very watery. Like just tipping it over, it starts falling out of the package without you even having to squeeze it. It's another super watery, very, very thin, barely there, like serum. This feels like a serum that has pigment in it, not a serum infused foundation. I think the L'Oreal one is a serum infused foundation. This is a pigment infused serum. It feels very similar to the Ordinary serum foundation, that one that's like water. I haven't used this one in a while. It's, oh, you know what that smells like? A swimming pool. Does that mean it's gone bad? I'm gonna try it one more time anyway. I think the shade might not be the best for me. It looks a little dark. What shade was it? Light to medium neutral. I don't even know if I want to try it one more time. I'm gonna let this one go. I'm gonna let this one go. I think the shade is just a little off. This is the Dermablend Flawless Creator Multi-Use Liquid Pigment. I have had this forever and ever and ever. Oh my goodness gracious, please smell good. Oh, thank God, it smells great. I just don't want to get rid of this, and I know when I do, I'll buy it again. So it is another foundation where the dropper don't work that good. This is one of those, it says multi-use liquid pigment because you can use it, mix it in with a moisturizer, mix it in with your primer, mix it with something else to add more coverage. You can do whatever you want to do with this. I have only really used it straight up out of the bottle. I didn't even know you were supposed to do that, to be honest. And this is beautiful. I think I have a video on this too, and I think it's like a full coverage makeup look, and it's featuring these. I'll link that down below. It's so thin, like it is thin, thin, and it will give you full 100% full coverage face. Like you will not need to use
any concealer
or anything like that. I keep looking over here because I have a mirror and I'm looking at the way the foundation looks in my hand. Anyway, full coverage, 100% full coverage. It feels really, really good on the skin, wears all day. I do remember this getting greasy though and looking kind of oily throughout the day, but nothing a little powder can't help or a little blotting. But if you are looking for full coverage that looks good on your skin, ooh, this stuff is really good. Gonna keep it. There's only 2 left. This, hold on, is this what I've been mixing with the L'Oreal to make the right shade? I can't remember now. This is the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. I have really, really loved this for a long time. I think it's really great. I have the shade Calico, and it was never the right shade. It's just a hair too light. Wait, is this what I've been mixing with the IT Cosmetics, the skincare foundation? I know I was mixing this with something. Maybe it was both of them, I don't know. Okay, this is kind of like the IT Cosmetics CC cream. It has SPF 50, medium coverage, but you could definitely get full out of it. The shade was always just too light for me, and I always had to mix it with something else. So I am going to let this one go. What's the expiration date on it? The expiration date? July 2021. I've had this since then. I bet I bought this right when it came out, and I'm guessing it came out in 2021. holy moly, I'm just gonna let this go. It smells fine. I want to say just the SPF is probably expired. I'm gonna let it go for obvious reasons, but I would repurchase that. I think it's really great. Okay, last one here, Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. Let's give this one a little shake too. I feel like some of these get lost in the back of the container here because this is a great foundation. It's from Believe Beauty. It's a Dollar General exclusive brand. All of the products are $5 or less, so even with inflation, you can still get some really good products for $5 or less, and they're really good. They're not just good for $5, they're good, and this is a really good foundation. I haven't had like a home run success with all of their products, but the foundation is great, the gel polishes are great, the concealer is really good, but the wand applicator always falls off. What else have I tried from them? I have to revisit some other products, but this is an amazing foundation. It's super pretty on the skin. I kind of want to revisit this one as well. I'm so glad I'm doing this because like every single foundation I'm like, I have to revisit that. I'm going to shop my stash for October. Maybe October will be like just foundation month and I'll try every single one of these. I kind of like that idea. I love this foundation. I feel like I've tried it out in many videos. I feel like I have a video on it. I'm not totally sure. It's really pretty on the skin, not thick, not heavy, just a basic, great liquid foundation, and I like this a lot. For $5, you can't go wrong. But that is it. That is my foundation collection and declutter. I got rid of more than I thought. I thought I was gonna hold on to everything for sentimental reasons, you know? And I ended up getting rid of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's not bad, I guess. Let me do another quick little pass. So I'm keeping Believe Beauty, keeping the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint, the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation, the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, the No. 7 City Light Tinted Moisturizer. I'm gonna let that go. The Ulta Beauty Moisturizer, I'm also gonna let that go. I'm also gonna let the No. 7 Hydra Luminous go. I'm just not in a tinted moisturizer kind of phase right now, and I'd rather give these to someone else while they're still good than to hang on to them until I feel like using them again. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna pass them on. The L'Oreal True Match Serum stuff, I'm gonna keep that, but I know I'm not gonna keep it the rest of the year. I'm just gonna keep it through my Project Pan. No. 7 Restore and Renew Foundation, keeping that. Dior Backstage, the Dermablend Flawless Creator Drops. I'm gonna let go of the Glossier too. I'm gonna let go of that one as well. Gonna keep the Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Stick, the Complexion Crush Foundation, and the Merit Stick. I'm gonna throw that back in my locker. So I found 2 more foundations that were not in the container. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation Plus Concealer. This is something I loved for a long time and I sung its praises. I loved it so much. It was full coverage, but it looked great on the skin. It's concealer optional skin as well. I loved this so much. Why did I open it like that? Like an animal. I don't know why I unscrewed it instead of just taking the lid off like a normal person. There we go. It has the butter scent to it, which I like. But when I tried this, holy moly, there is no way that this was my shade. Was I just wearing it that light and no one said anything? Okay, yeah, no, this is definitely a declutter. I tried it not too long ago and it was way too light for me, so I'm gonna let that one go. And then the other one I have here is from LYS. This is the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I tried this in a sample and I loved it so freaking much that I went and bought the full size. But then once I started using this, I thought it was terrible. It would not blend into my skin. It just sat right on top and would like smear around. I also didn't think the shade was that good. I don't know, I just didn't like it. But then I tried it not too long ago in, was it like a video called Products I Hate or something like that? But I tried it with my favorite little primer over here, the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, and suddenly this blended perfectly fine and it looked great on my skin. I haven't used it since that video though because I was kind of afraid of it. I didn't want to wear it to work and then be like with just smeared foundation all over my face. So I'm going to keep this for now, give it some more time, and we'll see if it grows on me. But yeah, didn't have the best experience with it, but I'm going to hang on to it for now. So we went from, I forgot to count them, there's probably like 20 in there. I have 12 left. I think that's pretty good. Look, there's room in there. Everyone can mingle. And I'm gonna let go of quite a bit, which is awesome. I'm sure other people will really like these foundations, and I'm gonna give them away while they're still good, you know? But that is it. That is my foundation collection and declutter. But that is it. So let me know what some of your favorite foundations are. I would love to give them a try. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.